Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the 24 books that I went to read in 2024. So I set my reading goal to 45 books. So this is about half of the books that I went to try to read this year. And to think about that, it's kind of scary because obviously I'm going to have so many other books that come onto my radar throughout the year. But I wanted to stick to the books that I've wanted to read, like a series that I've wanted to read for a while, and then actual physical books that I have on my TBR. Right now, this is my list. Who knows what'll happen throughout the year, but I'm hoping to at least get through the ones that I have on my physical TBR. That is my main goal right now. Let's go through my list. The first book slash series that I want to read or finish is Magnolia Parks. Obviously, there's a new one coming out this year in February, but I have not finished these two. I've only read the first two, so I need to read Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, and then also the Magnolia Parks Into the Dark book that's coming out, I think, in February. Definitely want to try to get through these soon so that I could read the new one when it comes out. That is a top priority because I love that series so much, and I definitely want to make sure I get through them this year. Another that I have on my list, I'm just going to insert a picture of the ones that I don't physically have with me right now. The Addicted series. I have heard so many great things about the Addicted series over the past few years of me reading, and I've been wanting to get to them this whole time and just haven't gotten to it. I haven't really focused on series much because I just felt like it was a big commitment, but I'm seeing how great series are because you get so attached to the characters and have so much more love for everybody than you would if you just read one book and then stopped. Yeah, I want to try to prioritize series, and the Addicted series sounds like a great one. I also have the ACOTAR series that I want to get to this year by Sarah J. Maas. It's so funny because I hear so much about this series and then Throne of Glass, obviously, but it's like I have no idea what this is about. All I know is that this girl kills a beast on accident, on purpose, in the woods, and then apparently that's like a big no-no, and so she gets like taken away or something. I really don't know, but this is also a big series that I've been putting off for a long time that I've heard so many great things about, so I don't know why I'm putting it off other than the fact that it's just a super long series, but I definitely want to try to get to it this year. I feel like this is my year of series. I have the Natural series, but I don't have it with me right now, so I'll insert a picture, but the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, it seems like such a quick YA mystery type of series that I know I would really enjoy. So I do have those books, but not with me currently, but that's definitely on my list. Then I went to read The Hunger Games. I am currently reading Harry Potter, and I feel like getting through those like old series that so many people just love, especially when they have movies attached to them. It's just the best feeling. Like, I love reading a Harry Potter book and then getting to like watch the movie and like see the differences. So I want to try to do that with this series as well. I got this little box set at Books A Million for literally like $20, but it didn't come with the last one, Ballads of Songbirds of Snakes. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I definitely want to read that one as well. And these are so like small and quick to get through. I feel like they wouldn't even take me that long. So there's really no excuse for me not to get to these this year. But yeah, I want to read these and then be able to watch the movie after too. A super popular one this past year that everybody was talking about was Once Upon a Broken Heart, the trilogy. I do have all 3 books, but I haven't read one of them yet. But I'm super excited to read them because I have heard so many great things about it. I know it's like a whimsical type of fantasy series, and that's really all I know. Stephanie Garber, definitely going to get to this hopefully soon. Another one that I have been thinking about for a while is just anything by Lauren Asher, like probably the Dreamland Billionaire series because that seems like the most popular one. But yeah, I've just heard really good things about her. Like, a lot of people have loved her books, and she just seems like so sweet and so cute. So I definitely want to read some books by her this year. And she does have her new Lakefront Billionaires, I think is what it's called, which seems like it's doing really well. Yeah, I just want to see what she's about because I haven't read anything by her. I want to. I think that I'd probably enjoy her books if I picked one up. Something that is out of my comfort zone is classics. The next one I have on my list is Little Women. The only reason that this like seed has been planted in my head is because of Haley Pham. She did a video where she like went around asking strangers their favorite book, multiple people said Little Women. And then there was like another video that I watched that multiple people said Little Women in that video too that were their favorites. So I was like, wait, there's a common theme happening that Little Women is like a good book. And I have Pride and Prejudice, another classic, and I've tried to read it and I could not read it. I want to. I hope that, you know, as I read more and everything, I'll get to like see growth in my reading and be able to read harder books to read. So yeah, if I could read Little Women this year, I would really be pleased with myself because it's supposed to be a really good book and it's a classic. So I would feel very accomplished. Another book that is on my radar that I have is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I have heard so many good things about this book. I'm a little scared because I'm scared it's going to be like sad and like heartbreaking. And I'm not sure if I'm prepared for that. But at the same time, those end up being my favorite books, the ones that like really pull emotion out of me. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I think it's like a story of friendship. These friends like create this video game together and it goes like throughout their life, something like that. Another book by Gabrielle Zevin that I've heard was really good is The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery, I think. So if I end up really liking this one, maybe I'll pick that one up as well. But this cover is just gorgeous. Like, come on. The rainbow. I love it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try to read this and get into more literary fiction in general, hopefully. Another very hyped up popular book this year, I feel, is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Also, take a minute. I got the exclusive like Barnes & Noble edition, which I think the only difference is that the flowers are pink instead of blue. So picked this one up. Clearly I love pink. This seems like so much fun because it has both fantasy and romance in it. And I heard it's something kind of like Hunger Games vibes. I have just heard so many good things about this book, so I am dying to see if I enjoy it like everybody else has been. Okay, number 11 on my list is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I have also heard so many great things about this book, like all of the other books that I've picked up. I have both of them, and I like that this is only a duology because it seems like not too much of a commitment, but still a really good series, I guess. I know that the first book, basically, there's this fog and there's like playing cards that if they like unlock all the playing cards or find all the playing cards or something, then they can like figure out how to get rid of the mist. It's like a gothic, like dark fantasy, and it sounds like so much fun. Like if I'm in the mood for something more like spooky and dark, these seem like they'd be great. And I've heard that the second one is really good, so that is positive. It makes me want to pick it up more. So clearly we're going through all the hyped up fantasy books on my stack right now because the next one is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Look how gorgeous this is. And also the second book, because this is also a duology and the second book recently came out. I don't have that one yet. It's so short and sweet, and I've heard really good things about how the romance is just amazing in it, and it's just a very like sweet story. I've just heard really great things about it and I've been wanting to read it, and it's on my physical TBR, so I've got to read it soon. One that I do not have with me right now that I want to read is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm not sure when this comes out this year. I know it comes out sometime this year, and immediately, like Emily Henry, immediately buy her books. I love her books so much. I haven't rated any of her books lower than a 4 stars, and my favorite is Beach Read. I love that book. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm not really sure. I actually have not even a general idea of what that book is about, like at all. Oh, I think it's like a second chance. It sounds like she has a fiance. No, I actually don't know what this book is about. And I'm trying to read like a few words to like kind of get the general gist, but it's not working. So I'm not sure. I think she basically like tries to like start her life over again. I don't know if it's a second chance though, or if she's just like a second chance at her own life. I know it's gonna be good because Emily Henry is always so good, and I just can't wait to have another pretty bright book on my shelf, my Emily Henry section that I have. And then another new release that is coming out sometime this year is called A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, and I loved her book, The 7-Year Slip. I rated that a 5 stars, so I'm excited to read another one of her books. It's the same type of like magical realism type of thing where this girl gets stuck inside a romance story, like literally stuck inside of a romance. And that just sounds like so much fun. So I feel like her books are like so original, so different from, you know, other just romance stories. So, and I love her writing. So I'm excited to read that one when it comes out, whenever it comes out. One that has really intrigued me recently that I don't have is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I actually have no idea. I know it's like a gothic type of like mystery, like has like a little bit of a gothic vibe to it. I'm not exactly sure, but I've heard really good things. Like people are really enjoying it. And I read one book by Riley Sager, which was The House Across the Lake. I read that by Riley Sager and I really enjoyed that one. So I want to pick up more by him if I can. Another like mystery type of book is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and I actually have another book by hers called Then She Was Gone, which I've heard mixed reviews about, but I'm probably going to read it at some point. But None of This Is True just sounds like so interesting, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. Yeah, just like the idea of having a questionable narrator and like questionable characters, you can't really tell like who to trust and who to believe and what's the truth. Just sounds so fun. I'm excited to read that one at some point. I've heard a lot of good things about Five Survive too by Holly Jackson. I read the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, the first and second one, and really enjoyed that. The premise of Five Survive just sounds right up my alley because I feel like I like slasher type of movies and books and stuff. Like I really liked The Last Word by Taylor Adams, I think. I really liked that one, and that's kind of like a slasher. So I feel like I would like this type of thing where I think there's 6 friends maybe. They go on like a road trip. I'm making this up in my head. I think there's like 6 friends and they go on a road trip and then they realize that like somebody is after them and they're like stranded in the car or like the van, and then 5 survive. I don't know, but it sounds like so fast paced and like you want to like keep reading, which I love books like that. Another mystery type of book that I have been wanting to read for so long is Gone Girl. I have never seen the movie, which I feel like I'm in a good place to be reading the book first. I have no idea what the like big twist is, but I've heard it's so good. I definitely want to read that and watch the movie after. When I'm in my thriller phase, those will be my thriller / mystery books that I want to pick up. Okay, back to books that I actually have. There is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I actually heard somebody else like talk about this that I don't normally like watch. She was describing it and it was like a lot more dark than I was thinking it would be. It made me more excited because it sounded like more in-depth, more entertaining than I originally thought. It basically follows 2 mafia type of families, and then there's a romance between the 2 families, and there's vampires and they live in New York City, and there's like drug trading and stuff. I don't know, but it sounds really interesting to me. And there's little pictures throughout the book, which just makes it so much more exciting. So a book that I have had on my TBR for a while, I don't have it with me right now, but it's Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, I think. I've heard really good things about this book for so long. Like so many people say it's like their favorite book. So I have that book and I definitely want to read it at some point when I'm in a romance mood. I think it'll be good. I think I'll like it. Another one that I put on here is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am a big Taylor Jenkins Reid fan. Every book that I've read by her, I have loved. So I decided that I wanted to, of course, read more of her books because I have a few more that I haven't read yet. And One True Loves seems really interesting and I've heard a lot of good things about it. Follows this lady and her husband dies in like a plane crash, or they think he dies in a plane crash, and so she moves on a few years later and she's engaged to somebody else, and then it comes up that the man didn't actually die in the plane crash and he's back, and so then I guess she has to kind of like choose between them. I'm excited to read more of Taylor Jenkins Reid and start with that one. Then we have a few more romances. So both of these are by Catherine Sinner, and okay, I'm realizing that it looks like these are both books on my list. This is the book on my list, but this is another book by her that I want to hopefully get to. But I do have The Bodyguard on my list because I've heard really good things about this book, and just Catherine Sinner in general, because I feel like she adds more of a like a literary fiction, just like more depth to her romances, and I just really enjoy that because, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of like solely romance books. I feel like they can get a little repetitive and boring, so when you throw in like either fantasy or some other element, depth to it, it becomes a lot more interesting, which I think this author does exactly that. So I have heard a lot of good things about The Bodyguard, which is like a fake dating. Is it fake dating or is it just like she's his bodyguard? I guess maybe he's famous. And then I haven't really heard much about this one, but I saw this at Books A Million and I of course recognized the author, and it was like $5 for this book. And I was like, it sounds pretty interesting once I read it. I think it is like a romance, but also like literary fiction vibes as well. So I'm excited to read her writing because I think she'll be someone that I really enjoy. And then I've also wanted to pick up some Abby Jimenez. I love how I just have multiple books for these authors that I've never even read before. But I've heard really good things about Abby Jimenez. Part of Your World. I think this is like the first in a series and maybe this is the second. Like interconnected standalones maybe. And I've also heard that Abby Jimenez is kind of good about like having, you know, more serious topics thrown into her romances and that they're like super easy to fly through. Sorry about this lighting. I enjoy a fast-paced romance. And she always puts animals on her covers. Like there's a goat and then there's a dog. Adorable. The last book that I have on my list of 24 books to read in 2024 is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is like one of the most hyped books, I feel like. I've heard so many great things about this. People love this book so much. I want to see what the hype is about. I've had this book for a while, but I feel like once a book gets so hyped, I kind of like put it off. I don't really think much in my mind, but I know that I subconsciously am putting it off. And I guess because I'm just worried that it's not gonna like live up to the hype. But nonetheless, I'm excited to read this and I think I'm gonna try to read it soon, hopefully, to get it off my list and see how I like it. That's my last book on the list. And like I said, there's so many other books that I know I'm going to want to read throughout the year and that I didn't put on this list that of course I still want to read a lot of other books. These are just my priorities, I guess, the ones that sound the most interesting to me, at least while I'm doing this video right now. So it's bound to change throughout the year, but I'm hoping to get this stacked down a lot and have a lot of great reads this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!